Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me, coach. Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Get off our lawn.
Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma, of course, or your aunt or your uncle. Either way, wouldn't worry about sharing it with your dog, because your dog, he's got paws. Can't hit like. I mean, he could on accident, I suppose.
I imagine at some point there's some stat that eventually the dog would in fact like your video. Probably break your computer first, but
Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, probably pee on it or shit on it first. I mean, that's what dogs do. They shit on stuff. The turd in the background says, "Welcome back to the Straight Red Card. Marsch is out. Will he be the next U.S. men's national team boss? I fucking hope.
you better bone up on your fluffing ability there, Cameron.
Who knows? What would I do? What I do know is that Greg Berhalter has a 9-incher. No, he does not. And cameraman, how would you know that? Well, according to my wife. Okay. Well,
He explains it. Gives all the
Yeah, he
information you
does.
need on there, right there.
man, I tell you what, Michael, I think you might need to end your open relationship that you're having there. And it seems like it's pretty one-sided, pretty much. But,
I imagine Peralta is no longer going to be in Chicago. He's probably going to be somewhere else. So that'd be a long distance relationship, if anything.
Sure. Yes, we are going to get into Jesse's firing, or as they say, sacking. I would hate to offend any English people here, so I'm going to use the English term of he got sacked. No, he got fired. He got fired. You're out of a job, buddy. That's how it happens. And he kind of did it to himself, but we'll get into that. We'll get into the game and the irritation of watching that game. What did I tell you on text, Brett? I said,
You tell me all this stuff.
I know, but I was like, I can't watch any more of this. The second half, I'm like, I just can't watch this. Yeah, this is just
Did
making
you
me
end
sick.
up watching the Norwich game?
Yes.
I told you
Thank
not to.
I know.
Not to. Stop.
As soon as
Stop over your
Sergeant
head.
went out, it was the end. I was done with the game.
Oh,
So I
my
stopped watching.
goodness.
But all right, simple fact. Oh, this is a good question for you, Brett. Where do you think the Pennsylvania Dutch are from? You know the
Ohio.
term Pennsylvania Dutch? Where'd they come from?
Ohio.
The Pennsylvania Dutch. No. Where from Europe do you think they came from, the Pennsylvania Dutch?
Sweden.
Based on Dutch, where do you think they came from?
Italy.
Come on, Brett. You're not even playing along.
Holland. Fine,
Yeah,
Cappy.
exactly. So, just so it's an interesting thing because I don't know, there's some gal at work who was talking about the Pennsylvania Dutch, and I turned to her and I said, you know that they're not really from Holland. They're not Dutch at all. And she said, what? I'm like, yes, they're not. They're from like middle to southern Germany. And they came over years and years ago.
Trouble.
And by the way, the Pennsylvania Dutch also live in Ohio. Does that make them
I
Ohio
Ohio
Dutch?
first.
Yeah. I don't think we can call them the Pennsylvania Dutch. But at the time they came over, Dutch was used as a very broad term describing everybody from like old Germany or the old Germanic lands. So like you would even call somebody who was German in World War I in your unit, you call him, his nickname would be Dutch, even though he's not from Holland or the Netherlands at all.
I was right.
Yeah, kind of. No, you were wrong about Italy and all the other shit you said.
I said
you know,
Ohio, which is right.
Yes.
I said Germany, which was right, I guess. But then I said Italy, yes, and Sweden. So I was about 50% accurate.
Did you say Germany ever?
I did say Germany, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then you got that right. I just wasn't listening. By the way, Tack was wearing his Straight Red Card shirt today. So props to him. I think a couple of people noticed in the comments.
In Unity, I am also wearing a red shirt today.
Well, I'm actually wearing a Straight Red Card shirt. But he was wearing the TSRC official Beavis and Butthead version of the shirt, which I think is fantastic. So props to, although he didn't mention it, I think if you're going to wear someone's shirt, you should go, hey, look at that shit. Sell it for us. Dak, come on. You're selling all that betting shit.
I mean, when I wear Sam's hat, I purposely tilt down my head from time to time and, do this. Just so I can show the hat off.
Your hat says EB, and that's your wife's nickname.
Yeah. Yeah, she gave it to me, actually.
Yeah, but is that really was that something else, or was it specially made for EB?
It was specially made, yeah. She said that it was either that or she's got to be on my leg. Marker territory.
She's got to be on what?
It was between the hat or peeing on my leg. She had to mark her territory.
Okay, peeing on your leg. All right.
No, it's Ernie Ball.
Ernie Ball, thank you. I didn't think that was especially made at all. I thought that was really weird. Some other things going on out there. The Sounders lost to Al Ali. I don't think that's a real. It shouldn't be a huge shocker, but I don't think it necessarily means that says anything about MLS because, the Sounders were on early preseason. Al Ali's in the middle of their season. And by the way, Al Ali's a good team. They're a pretty good team. They knocked out Monterrey last Club World Cup. So it's not like they haven't knocked out the representative of CONCACAF before. They knocked out the Liga MX's representative last time. So, could they have done better? Yes. Could Morris have done better? Oh, God, yes. It's not good. I have to tell you, wow, I'm surprised.
I didn't really get to watch the game because it was 0-0 at my son's indoor game. I noticed.
I know.
And then you texted me literally minutes after I left the game. And it's like, oh, my God, that's ridiculous. So were the Sounders constipated? Was that the problem?
No, it was a lucky goal for Ali, honestly. Ricochet to a corner that the keeper just couldn't get to. So, and no, we're not going to be covering Taylor Booth being monitored by Man United. It's not going to be covered on the show because guess what? They monitor everyone. They monitor your anus if you fucking had a good game last week somewhere in Europe. They're monitoring everybody, folks. There's no point. That's why when Brett brings up that segment for this show where I have to reply to some silly tweets he brings, where it's all about
we're a week out of the silly season. I got no more rumors for you. Not until next season.
I know. I'm happy about that, honestly.
So, Derek, you've passed up two clear-cut opportunities to segue into our sponsor. I asked if the Sounders are constipated, and you even said monitoring their anus. I figured that's where you're going with that.
I didn't know. I forgot all about our sponsor. Okay, today's sponsor is Cologuard. One of the worst logos ever created, I think, for a company. But if you don't want your doctors,
why is the G backwards is my question.
I don't get it. If you don't want your doctor's whole hand, because they got to make sort of a shape of your intestinal system. I think that's what that is on his face, right? You got the colon, and then it circles around like an intestine.
It's supposed to be a C and then a G, I guess.
But no, they're creating a colon, an intestinal-looking like box. You got the colon, which is the straight part, and then it loops to the right. And then, if it's disconnected like that, you've got a real issue. You need to go straight to the hospital, obviously. But this show being sponsored by Cologuard makes so much sense. It does, because I am in my 50s, and I'd rather do that than go to the doctor, honestly. So if you don't want your doctor's hand jammed up your fucking sphincter, get Cologuard. Now, that's not what they told me to say in the commercial, but that's what I'm going to say. Because honestly, that's true. That's why old people do Cologuard. They don't like that. They don't like to go to the doctor and have, the guy go.
I've heard the commercials. It catches like 98% of potential colon cancer.
See,
like
that was in the script, and I didn't read it. So Brett gets props for actually reading the actual commercial.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's up for most of the crap. Because we've got so much crap to cover. By the way, if you haven't watched Sharks Happen on YouTube. If you like sharks, if you like people getting bit by sharks or eaten by sharks or attacked by sharks or their balls getting bitten off by sharks or whatever, just like the whole shark attack, I don't want anybody to get attacked by sharks, but I like that there's somebody out there documenting every.
Oh my
shark
goodness!
attack.
Did you hear about the guy off of Australia? Have we talked about that yet?
No.
There was a diver off of Australia, and the shark came up and just like decapitated him, like just bit his head right off.
Oh, bullshit! No,
I will find the article for you.
I haven't seen that one. All right. By the way, folks, I cannot see the comments. I still haven't got the good laptop fixed yet. I'm working on it. But once it's back, I will get back into the comments. So just know,
sorry, it's California, apparently.
I am under Brett's control. He's got the driving wheel. I'm only going to
show the ones that make Derek look stupid.
I'm just a passenger, and Brett is in total control. I don't get to read any of the comments. Diver decapitated by 19-foot great white shark in Gulf of California. Oh, so he must have gone head first into that motherfucker's mouth.
Take me now. Yeah.
Local divers have been warned about the presence of sharks in the area. Really? They had to be warned? Really?
Well, apparently, the swimmers in South Africa also had to be warned, and Australia.
It's so stupid. They're always there for the most part. It's California. They're going to be, if you jump in the water, in the ocean, in California, there are sharks. Now, you might just be lucky and not run into one, or unlucky and run into one. So, Brett, tell Derek 29 says hi. Yeah, no, I've had conversations with on the Twitterverse or on the Twitter chat with 29 since the show. It was a pleasure having him on.
He's telling you right now is the thing. It's Diego.
Tell Derek 29 says hi. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but you're talking about him like third person. Like, I've had conversations with 29 on the Twitterverse. I'm like, that's him right there talking to you now.
Oh, you know what? I totally forgot his last name. So it just did. I remember Diego, but Mendoza just didn't give me. I'm a moron. All right. Sorry, Diego. Yeah, that's the kind of. I'm a little under the weather, too. So I'm going to fight through tonight. Jose Lopez says, we want to tweet Fleshlight enough to get them to sponsor the Straight Red Card Boys. Fleshlight. Is that one of those things that you use to?
Yes, it is a Pringles can with a makeshift vagina attached to it that you masturbate with.
A Pringles can. Who hasn't here thought of designing some sort of device using a Pringles can or a tennis ball can? Who hasn't? Anybody not thought of that at all? How many people here thought of that when you were like in your teens? You're like, God, you know what? I could turn this into a cock-sucking device. Yep, I think a lot of people thought of that.
Talking about
no, you
fucking cunt. We are now demonetized. Sorry, guys.
What did you do?
Bang my elbow on the desk.
Oh, you dumb cunt. Now we're demonetized. All right, so enough of the Pringles thing. Although, hey,
better than using a Sprite can.
Yes. By the way, I mean, it is cheaper. It is cheaper, and you can find stuff to go inside there. I'm sure that would feel good. And then you glue it all in there, and you make a nice opening, and you're in there. You know what I'm saying? Cheap Fleshlight. Like, how much does a fucking can of Pringles cost? $2.99?
Oh, that's great that you bring that up because stop sharing this because I got to start sharing some other stuff.
Oh my God, I got. Oh, wait, I got.
Inflation is a bitch. Look at this. Chad on Twitter says inflation is tearing my family apart. Look at that bill, $785. Oh my God.
Can we get a little closer and see if we can't knock out some of those items that he's buying?
Sure.
Because I think some of it is unnecessary.
Organic tropical here, some pecans. That's some cheap pecans.
Okay.
What the fuck?
What are penguin crackers?
Oh, that's so. The penguin crackers are a Aldi's thing. They're like goldfish, but the penguins.
Oh, well, that's a relief. I thought they were making crackers out of penguins. That sounds really horrible.
Yeah.
Snack Factory pretzel, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Plain Greek yogurt. Yeah, that's all fine. Bananas. Nice. Yeah. Ben's original something. I'm guessing rice. Caesar salad kit. Butternut diced. Butternut. Yeah, that one I don't get. Who eats butternut? Blueberries? Yeah, not my thing. The kids might like them though. Sour cream, regular, Nature's Own. Little Smokies. Christmas fudge? Why are you still buying Christmas fudge? That needs to be.
It's cheap at this point.
99 cents. Here would be down to 363, 763. All right. Mangoes? God damn. Mangoes are expensive, aren't they?
459 of them at $1.19.
So that's $546 worth of mangoes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's his problem. Why are you buying so many mangoes? Seriously, is this a real receipt?
No.
Oh, okay.
The Internet Hall of Fame goes, you bought $500 worth of what?
Okay. That's a lot of fucking mangoes.
A lot of mangoes.
All right.
He likes the juice, okay?
Yeah, we didn't prep for this, so I just went down the list.
Oh, I prepped for it.
Oh, so you knew I'd get suckered in. All right.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh,
right.
Let's just look through here. Let's see. He bought a hell of a lot of mangoes, $500 of mangoes. Wait for it. That's a lot of mangoes, 550 mangoes.
I wish I could read the comment section so Brett couldn't just, string me along, basically. I had a great little argument on Twitterverse with Alec Eiffel 95. Alec, if you're listening to the show, I'm glad that we were able to end our argument about Brooks in an amicable way. And I'm sorry I called you a fart in a jar. But he took it well. He did. He actually laughed at it. He thought that was really good, and he liked
I believe
it.
he actually followed up with saying that he's going to catch our next show. So here you go.
He did.
Alec.
He did say that.
Here's
So,
looking at you,
Alec,
Alec.
if you're here, we didn't agree on everything about Brooks, but we ended up agreeing on a lot more than you thought, because you thought
Not everybody agrees with Alec, though.
Yeah. Listen, I tried my best to not make it end amicably, but it did. So good on Alec for being okay, dude, let's just end this.
Quite a few
and be friends.
I had a solid conversation this weekend about Geo. You had one with Brooks, and we'll get into some not so nice ones.
Yeah, there were some bad ones.
We'll get into that later.
Jose Lopez, thank you, my brother, at 199. You also should get Diego in here, see what he knows. Wow, we can't do that every
week. Yeah, he was in last
Jesus show. Christ. Let's give Diego a little rest here, because I think he was on somebody else's show this weekend, so he's got plenty of work.
He was in Chum Chat. I think he said it was. I think it's what it was.
That really sounds like it should be a shark show. Chum Chat. I don't know, just me. Or
a restaurant under the sea or something like that,
I was really stoned this weekend, and I was thinking about the Sounders, and I was thinking, yeah, that's a really kind of weird-ass name, the Sounders, because, people who do sounding are Sounders. Do you know what sounding is?
No. I can make a guess, but no. What is it?
Those ways stick things in your dick hole. Or your
ouch. Never would have guessed that in life. I never would have guessed that.
That's called sounding. And I'm not into it. Trust me. It makes me want to freak out when I think about it. But I was thinking, how did they get past that issue? I guess, like you, not a lot of people know what sounding is. So no problem if you're a sounder. All right. Not to demur the Sounder name. I'm sure Sounder Nation's very proud of it.
There's a reason for it. And let me see if anybody had it pulled up here. But yeah, there's a reason for it, and I know at one point in my life I did learn about it, but it didn't stick because fuck Seattle.
You did learn about what?
The Sounders. The name for why did they pick the Sounders?
Because there's a sound. Yeah, because there's a sound out there.
Maybe that's it.
I'm not talking about sound of noise. I'm talking about
there's things up your pee-pee. I know. I heard you.
No, there's the Bay is called the Sound as well, outside of Seattle. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right.
Well, that's nice.
This is just crazy. Anyhow, I ran into a chick today, by the way, not today, yesterday at Myers.
Hold on. Okay. Oh, so yeah, Berlin talked about that 29's here for the Indy traffic report, and then you say you ran into a chick. I was like, oh, pull that one up instead.
Not in a car, Brett.
Come on.
I'll get to Alex in a second.
Yeah.
And she was wearing the best earrings I have ever seen in my life. I was standing in line behind her, and then she turned around and talked to her boyfriend or whoever the fuck he was, and she had earrings on that had the words Nickelback Slut on them. Nickelback Slut. Seriously? The worst band ever? See, that just shows how little you have to accomplish to get sluts.
They're a band that's radio porn is what they are, because it's all made for radio. And the problem is that the radio overplayed it, and they really killed any chance that they had as possibly being any form of longevity. So they just went back up to Canada, where they dwindled away.
Well,
they have a new CD coming out, Derek. You gonna get it?
All of that is really nice, but you're escaping the reality that they suck, and that's
not escaping any reality. No,
that's the reality. They're awful. And by the way, look that up. I looked it up when I got home. I'm like, is this a real thing? I Googled Nickelback slut earrings. They exist and you can buy them. So not recommending you go out and buy them unless you are going to do it for a joke. I think it's funny.
I feel like most of the generation nowadays, the late millennials into the Zs, they probably know Nickelback from that look at this photograph meme.
Well, they know Nickelback is a total fucking joke.
Nah, I don't think anybody. I don't think late millennials and even Gen Zs know Nickelback for anything.
If they do, they know them as a joke, and only a joke. All right.
It's funny. It's funny because I was playing Cards Against Humanity, which is a card game that is absolutely horrible and stupid. It is a stupid game. It has no purpose whatsoever, outside of a couple giggles. That's about it. But we're playing a game, and my mother-in-law actually put down Nickelback for her card. So basically, you pull a card, and it asks like you're supposed to pick another card that goes along with it that will hopefully make people laugh, or that way you look at the cards and like, oh, this one wins or whatever. It's a really horrible description of the game itself, but it's all meant for laughs. There's no rhyme or reason behind it.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law put down Nickelback, and she thought it was a sex position. She didn't even know it was a band.
Oh my god! Wow, that's weird. That's a weird thing that she thought it was a sex position. All right, Alex Better, $2. 29 said he knows why Marsch got fired. It was shady. What'd he say? What did 29 say? All right, I think you guys are just really want 29 to come on this show. And we can't do that 2 shows in a row. We've never done that. BMR 2209. People enjoy Cards Against Humanity. That's its purpose. People enjoy cards.
Yes, I understand the purpose. But when I play games, I play it to win, and there is no rhyme or reason to it. Because
is that the name of the game?
Yeah, it goes around in a circle. There's always one person who picks the actual card, and then everybody puts a card in, and then they pick the winner, and that's it. So you start looking at him like, okay, I know this guy's sense of humor. I think this is going to be a good one. And then he's like, this one's stupid. I'm like, you're a fuck,
Yeah. Okay.
Here you go. I'll let you handle that one.
Don't bash Creed. I would, but we don't have time. We don't have time.
Derek pulls out his binder. Where do I begin?
I don't want to start because then I won't stop. But you can like Creed. Don't have to listen to my musical fucking snobby ass. Midnight Man. Again, a guy that needs to pick up a guitar, learn to play a few tunes, and start a country band. Like an old school country band. Like old school country. Not this new shit coming out today that isn't country. That's like pop country / hip hop / whatever the fuck they're doing. Midnight Man, $1.99. Imagine McKinney not needed under new manager. No, he'll be fine. I think the guy that needs to worry is Brendan Aronson. I think Adams and McKinney are going to play regardless. I think McKinney, sorry, 29, but I don't know if you saw when they took his shirt off for that, for his physical. I was thinking, he could stand to lose a few pounds. Just nothing personal, but he could.
We talked about that last week.
I know, but I don't know if I had seen the video yet.
Yeah. No, we talked about that last week, and even Diego said that he's always got that little chubby.
Yeah, I know. He said that's fine. He said that it would be fine, and I'm thinking, you know what? I don't know.
The last thing I'm going to cover with Cards Against Humanity is that you play the person, not the game. I understand. But the problem is the people I play with, they have no rhyme or reason for what they pick the cards for, even if you think that – I only know that there's one card for one person that will always guarantee a win. Everybody else is fucking hit or miss. They never have any rhyme or reason. It just drives me nuts.
So now there are 2 people that have played that game besides you in the chat.
Oh, there's a bunch of people in here. They don't know the game.
3. 4?
Oh, there's a bunch of them. A bunch.
Okay. All right. I just do want to get into. I put up a post, right?
Oh, we're going to jump into that, huh?
Yeah. I put up a tweet, excuse me. And the tweet basically was my usual immature post.
Okay. When we do actually get to the Jesse topic, it looks like Diego wants to jump on.
Okay, if he really has something to add there.
Yeah, let me go ahead and let me send him the link real quick.
So I'll let you do that. I put out my normal tweet, which is basically Raina scored again on your mom.
Derek's always out to make friends.
And it was just like, for those of you who, said that Raina should never play for the U.S. men's national team again, he scored again for Dortmund on your mom, or he scored again on your mom. Okay, that's obviously a tongue-in-cheek statement. Nobody says something like that and is like serious. Like, I'm not saying he actually fucked your mom, but a lot of people apparently didn't know there were actual. When I got on Twitter, which was not long ago, that was one of the things I saw a lot, which is like, yeah, fucking Gio Reyna should never play again for what his parents did. There was a guy on Dan Le Batard's show, same fucking thing, saying, now that kid should never play for the U.S. men's national team again. And Dan Le Batard's like, what? Why? So at least Dan's like, that's a stupid thing. Why are you saying that? Mm-hmm. He's just a kid. He didn't do that. That's his mom and dad. You can't blame him for that shit. Well, he didn't try when he went to the World Cup. Well, okay, he's young, and yeah, he got over it, and they all forgave him. So Alex, better $2. Thank you, my brother. Derek, get Brando on Spotify. They're too good. Yeah, I have somebody working on that for me right now. So it should be up there soon. And so I get all these people replying to me like I didn't know anybody was saying that.
So I will say most of the people that replied to you not only follow you but also listen to our show. So
that's weird.
What?
No, most of them were genuine because when I said, well, I mean, it happened. It's a real thing. And they were like, oh shit, I must be getting really good at blocking people. Now those people were genuine. Some people were not. 7,000
people on Twitter.
7,731 fucking views.
Okay, Let's also specify this because Derek sent me
how does this work? How does that get so high? He sent me a text
like, I've got like 6,500 views on this post. I'm like, yeah, that'll happen.
That's not how I put it at all. I said, how is that fucking possible? I started with FTF or WTF. Like, what the fuck? How is that possible?
No, but the analytics on Twitter, the way it's set up now, this is a new thing that I think Elon ended up throwing out for the analytics. But basically, anybody who's scrolling through their feed, all the tweets that they're seeing on their feed, they may not even be reading it. You can just literally scroll. Every single one of those tweets are going to get a hit on views.
I know. You explained it.
Well, I'm just specifying this now. So 7,731 people have currently seen this tweet. They may not have read it.
Yeah, that's fine.
They might have scrolled past it, or they sat down and read it, and only a handful. Like you got 134 likes. That's pretty fucking solid, man.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but like you explained it, people shared it, so I guess that's how that happened. A lot of people liked it, which is good, but then there were people who didn't like it at all. Let's scroll down and see some of those. Let's see. Sean Brooks, I've never seen anyone say anything close to that, and I'm like, really? How is that possible, Sean? And then I guess, I said, well, they're there. And then Sean says, my block game has gone pretty good. So there is a guy who's making a comment that's doing it out of, he just hasn't seen it. And that's cool. But there are other people who said it. I don't believe them. Let me see. 0 people are saying Gio should never play again. 0. No.
Like Chris, I've had plenty of conversations with Chris. I disagree with the 0. And it might be
it's small.
Minor, I think the vast majority of people having something against Gio are just making snide comments, but there definitely were a number of people, especially early on in GeoGate, that were saying he should never play for the United States national team ever again.
So let me just ask you this, Brett. If somebody makes a comment and says something, do you reply by saying 0 people? Like 0. Like, does Chris know what 0 means? 0 means nobody. Okay? To me, that's an irrational fucking post.
Well, oddly enough, though, Tashawn Brooks had a conversation with him about Gio this weekend. I was going to reply to him about I ended up having to stop communications because my kids were hungry, and I'm like, I need to bow out of this conversation. It's been going on for like 20 minutes. But I was going to say that there's 0 chance if Gio was not banned from the Wales game, because that was his punishment for throwing the temper tantrum before the World Cup, he was going to miss out on the Wales game.
Mm-hmm.
If he was not going to miss on the Wales game, there was 0 chance that Jordan Morris goes in over him. And I could say that.
I mean, it's still a guess. I mean,
0.0001 is still greater than 0, but you still round up.
It's educational guess. It's a good educational guess. But to come out and post 0 people have said this. 0? Mm-hmm. What? Am I just pulling shit out of my fucking ass and making it up? Is that what you're saying? Because when somebody posts something like that, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, oh, they're just thinking I'm making this up. I'm not making it up, Chris. It fucking happened. There were multiple people who said it. We posted their tweets on this show when it came out. Okay, 0 then. I guess they're zeros. Maybe they were bots. Maybe it is 0. So
that is possible, Kyle. I might be giving Greg too much credit here.
It's true. You might be. So then I said 0, blah, blah, blah. And then a scarecrow. What? I'm making.
You may give him a straw man, I think is what he's going for.
Straw man argument? About what? What argument am I making? Am I making an argument or am I making a statement, you stupid fuck? You dumb fucking moron. What do you think that was? It was called a statement. Okay? I wasn't making a fucking argument, dumbass. You can't have a straw man argument if there isn't an argument, you dumb fuck. Anyhow, I'm just saying. Dumb fucking people on Twitter. Unbelievably dumb people. I cannot believe how dumb they are. Okay, that's fine. Grant had a good one there. I like that one. Boing.
I would say, guys, in the chat, if anybody has seen or has a screenshot of somebody who says that Gio should never play for the national team ever again, send it to me in a DM.
I don't remember who that twat was who said it. But
I'm just saying, the internet's forever. Somebody has it.
It was in the feed for a good while, and he got railed, and other people agreed with him actually, which was crazy. And then I said,
Jones.
And then I said, more view types, more GGG ball snugglers. Go wash your hands. Which, it's a metaphor. I know Michael hasn't really been snuggling Greg's balls. But then Michael takes it from ball snuggling straight to cock sucking. That guy went straight to fucking cock sucking on this. Watch this shit. Straight to cock sucking. Oh God.
What's up, Daniel?
29.
Yo, can you see me? I can't see myself.
No, you have no camera right now.
How do you do that? How do you change that?
I mean, when you're signing in and everything like that, you have the option of what camera you want to use. I don't know if you can do it on the fly right now.
Maybe back out and try again and pick a camera.
I did. I did the same thing that happened last time. All right, BRB, fellas.
Right on.
All right,
BRB.
All right. That was a weird time to bring him in, Brett. We haven't even gotten to the show part yet.
Well, he's sitting in the back room. I'm like, we got to bring him in.
I guess, but I mean, we haven't gotten to Leeds yet. We're going to get it.
We're going to get there. Yeah.
All right. So anyhow, he goes straight to cocksucking. Did you finish blowing Geo yet? Probably should brush your teeth. And I had a great response for this.
Yeah.
And
What's the problem? Why couldn't you respond to him?
it wouldn't let me. Even though I'm the one who made the original comment, it wouldn't let me reply to this cocksucker who's calling me a cocksucker. And my reply was great. It was like, hey, buddy, teeth had nothing to do with it. That would be rude.
It would have been a fun response, because I'll put it this way. You did strike first blood by calling him a ball snuggler. He went to cocksucking.
Come on.
And then your response was perfect.
Snuggler.
I thought it was a nice evolution forward, you know?
Anybody whose feelings get hurt by being called a ball snuggler. Seriously? That's so gentle. That's a cotton ball. That's seriously what that is. All right, so we got through that, and now we got Diego on the show. So Diego, we're going to move on to this whole Jesse Marsch situation.
This debacle. It's a debacle.
It's a debacle.
It's a fucking debacle because we're surprised, and by we I mean our McKinney camp is surprised. That's all I'm going to say for now.
Do you think that they kept Marsch on and used him to be part of the lure to get McKinney to come on to the team?
Whether that's right or wrong, it sure fucking looks like that to us.
Bam, Brett. And that's why I said on replying to your Twitter earlier,
so
that's why it didn't surprise me.
I'll say what I said on Twitter. I said it's odd that they decided to go ahead and let Jesse have the entire window to bring players in just to fire him on the first loss.
And I said,
you would imagine that he would at least had a couple of games to try to draw out some results. But
what I said to Brett was, it looks like they just used Jesse to lure fucking McKinney in.
Listen. So the first thing that I tweeted today was 3 emojis, zip mouth. That's what I tweeted today. It got a bunch of Leeds engagement, USMNT engagement. I knew what the fuck I was saying. Like that's literally what I was like. I'm no comment because
right.
I woke up to a bunch of messages within our circle just saying what the fuck. Mm-hmm. And I didn't wake up till I woke up. I had a late night last night, so I didn't wake up till way after everybody had already talked about it. You guys dissected it, all that shit, and my replies were like my response to everybody texting about it within his circle is like, what the fuck? Like, yeah. I'm really confused because he was really used as a key part of this recruitment.
Yeah.
And there was definitely promises made about, listen, if he doesn't perform till the end of the season, cool. That's understandable and he's out. If he doesn't perform, they're most likely relegated and Weston's out anyway, so it doesn't even fucking matter.
Yeah.
But to for part of the recruitment to be his job security, and then he was going to get a chance to work with these boys because he handpicked Wes.
Yeah.
And for them to say like, yeah, like you're going to get time to work with Weston and see what we can do here and then get fired after one game. We literally have no words.
Yeah. They used him as a lure.
It's betrayal.
Yeah.
It's betrayal and it's shady. Earlier, someone said that I knew the reason why Jesse got fired. It's shady. No, I don't know the reason why Jesse got fired. I'm assuming he got fired because he sucks. That's why.
He was doing a bad job.
Okay, but the whole everything around the Jesse firing is shady to me. To I'm not gonna say the name of the person who said it's shady, but it is shady and it's betrayal and there's people around that are really confused as why he was used as a recruitment as a recruiter and being part of conversations on the transfer for him to be fired after one fucking game.
Yeah. I mean, the tough thing about did you watch the game, by the way, Diego?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I watched
the tough thing about that game wasn't the first half, where it was obvious to me that Leeds were the better team. And they had
chances. They just had chances. Patrick Bamford, he belongs nowhere near the Premier League right now.
Here it is. I wrote it all down. Misses. These are missed chances. Nanto, 2. Bamford, 2. Ailing, 1. Sinistera. Oh my God, how do you miss that? 1. Listen, there could have been 6 goals or 4 goals or 3 goals in that first half for Leeds. And so after the first half, I was telling Brett, I was texting him and saying, if they lose this game after this and they play the same way they did in the first half and the second half and they still lose, that ain't on Jesse. But then the second half happened. And what does Jesse do? He pulls out Roca and he plays McKennie in a double pivot with Adams when he should have left Roca in and brought McKennie in and played a 4-3-3 and let McKennie attack the fucking goal.
I was saying you should have taken out Harris.
He's a very progressive with the ball.
Yeah.
He likes to go up and he likes to attack the final third with the ball. You got to let him do that. He cannot do that in a 4-2-3-1. I've been on record multiple times.
No, he cannot. No,
he can't, and I'm sure he can adjust, but it's not going to happen in the minute 60 in the first game of the Premier League in a 0-0 game. It's going to take time, and if you're in a situation where you have to win, you're not doing that. You don't need to experiment in a must-win situation.
Well, like I was saying, I would have taken out either Harrison and put him in his role in the center, or you take out Sinisterra and push Harrison out wide. But still, you're still keeping
Harrison had to go off.
4-3-3 shape. You're still playing 4-3-3.
You're still keeping McKennie as close to the goal as possible at that point.
Yeah. There's someone. I was reading the comments. That's why I was on my phone. I was reading the comments, and there's someone saying that Wes isn't dumb. He had to know that Jesse's on the hot seat. Let me tell you this: Weston doesn't watch soccer. He doesn't.
He said that too.
He
said it. Oh yeah, he said it before.
Weston doesn't watch soccer. Weston has to have a very particular reason to watch soccer, like a Champions League final supporting Christian. That's about it. He doesn't watch soccer. Obviously, he knows the situation at Leeds, but to suspect that Wes knows the actual situation at Leeds, no. Wes knows what he's being told by ownership and by the president and by the sporting director. And when he's being told Jesse is good, don't worry about that. That's what he's gonna take their word for it.
Well, so it's the agent. His agent is also being fed that.
So the whole comment that Weston he should know what's going on in Leeds. No, he knows what he's being told because Weston does not fucking watch Leeds soccer. I'm sorry, he doesn't. He doesn't watch.
But his agent would have told him, "Hey, listen, Wes."
But if his agent's around, if his agent's being told like, yeah, he should be good for a couple months, then that's what Wes is gonna go with. And for him to get fired after one game, after he was just used as a recruiting tool, is just fucking insane to everyone around Weston. Fucking insane. And it's shady as shit. Yeah. It's fucking shady. And no one else is going to say it, but I'm going to fucking say it. It's shady fucking business by the 49ers, by fucking Raz, whatever the fuck his name is, and everybody. It's shady business. It's why are you and you know what? Yeah. Maybe Weston's decision isn't changed by whether Jesse's job security is there or not. But guess what? You still lie to the man. You still lie to the man. And it's principle. It's principle. It's principle.
The thing is for Weston, he's still going to play. I mean,
the thing is, we're not worried about Weston playing because guess what? Whether they get relegated in 6 months, he's going to be at another big club.
Exactly.
We're not worried about Weston.
It's the principle. Is like, why are you lying to this man about this coach that he really likes and has a connection with, who helped you guys get him, and now you're just saying, you know what? Oh, we got him. He's here. You're gone. So it's principle. It's fucked up. That's it. It's fucked up.
Yeah. So Colin says, too bad Weston can't rescind his contract.
It's a loan.
Yeah, it's a loan. Yes, but I guess my question to that would be, after the loan's expired, and let's say he helps Leeds stay up in the Premier League, and they come back with an offer for 33 mil or whatever. Would he still take that to play alongside Adams, or is he going to be fishing
if Wes sees it that it's been a good fit, he's probably going to sign. You know, here's the thing: the difference between Wes and the ownership is Wes is a man of his word, and Wes's word is as long as it's a good fit and it's working out, I'm gonna stay. It's not let me use y'all for 6 months, get attraction from the big teams, and then bounce on y'all. Like that's not his character, and I really wish that his character was as well reflected on the 49ers character, because their character is shit right now. And that's what everyone around him is saying, that the Leeds character up top is shit. Like, why are you using him to recruit when you're going to fire him?
I wish Wes would have called me, or you would have called me, because I would have told you, listen, I would have told you that Jesse Marsch's job is on a razor's edge right now, and that the fans are about to totally, completely revolt. When I mean, we watched Just Joe's show or Connor's show, the two big shows for Leeds fan shows. They've been calling for Jesse to go for at least a few months. But there were always somebody in their chat saying, or their comments saying, hey, hold on, give him a chance. He's finally got the players he wants. Give him a chance. But after that last game, and all of us could obviously see the mistake, the error he made when he took fucking Roca out and put McKennie in and left Harrison in instead of doing what we talked about earlier. I was shaking my head. And I think everybody in the know was shaking their head. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, I'm not claiming I'm a better manager than
no,
Marsch.
but it's the obvious. If you know what you get, you know what you should know who Wes is and what his game is.
Right.
Especially Jesse being a big fan of his.
He should have.
But listen, Derek, that's a whole different conversation. Those are just your fucking tactics, whatever. I'm sorry, I'm stuck on this. They lie to this man to kind of. It's not like it's the deciding factor, because the deciding factor in the day for Wes and the Leeds is fit and he wants a new challenge. Cool, great, but why you gotta lie to him? I'm confused.
Yeah, I mean,
why you gotta lie to him?
They would probably just say that's business, and then they probably had bitch.
It is business. It is business. Yeah. It's shady business, though. Mm-hmm. Shady.
No, it is.
Just be honest with the player. When he asked about the coach who's really trying to get him there, hey, what's up? What's up with Jesse's situation? I get you guys are kind of in the relegation battle. Is he good? Is he not good? It's, you know, definitely a factor in my in my decision here. And just say, listen, if he loses his next game, he's out. Or if he doesn't come up with a couple more points, he's out. Just say that. Just say that. It might not change the decision of Weston. It might not change it, but
might not.
But guess what? At least he knows. Okay, these guys are honest, regardless of what I want or not. They're honest, and right now it's a bunch of betrayal, bro. It's just shady as fuck.
Well, in their minds, they're thinking, Diego, like, if I tell him the honest truth, he may not decide to sign for us. So I'm going to give him a little bit of hope that Jesse's staying here for a while, because if I'm the guy trying to sign him, I'm also saying, what's the chances that Jesse at least gets a point out of Nottingham Forrest? It's probably pretty good. So I think I can fibble a little here and get away with it.
Barring a nice volley off of a clearance on a corner kick and 45 misses in the first half, that game could have been different. But
it's a point. Yeah, it's a point.
First half was awesome. I mean, really, like I said, could have scored 3, 4, 5 goals, whatever. But then the worst thing happened today. You know, I love Just Joe, a football guy that covers for Leeds, but he came on his show today and cheered and celebrated Marsch's firing.
It looks like they all hated him. That's cool.
It's just like, that's not cool, dude. Don't do that. I mean, you can come on your show and say, okay, listen, Jesse didn't have it. We all said it, and now he's gone. Thank you for your service. Thanks for giving it a good try, but it just wasn't going to work. But he celebrated the dude sacking. It's just, and not just celebrate. I mean, like champagne. Fucking,
did he really? You know what?
Party.
I talked to him on Twitter. I didn't see. I woke up really late. I woke up late in the afternoon. Everything had already been digressed, spoken about. I came in late to the conversation. All I tweeted was the little hush emojis, because that shit was wow. Like it's not even, dude. Derek, Brett, one fucking game. Mm-hmm. I get it. If he would have lost 3 in a row after playing Manchester, I would have understood. All right, fuck it. That's at least 3 weeks. One game. The first game after getting your big signing, after telling this man, yo, Jesse's good. Don't worry. You guys are going to have time to develop something and work some things out. The first game after he loses, he's gone. It's shady, bro. Is
Armas the interim
yes,
coach?
He is.
He is really?
I don't know what Armas
No, it was officially announced today. He is going to coach versus Man United in both games if they have not found a coach by then. So Armas is going to get the coach.
Do they not have another assistant that was there long?
They fired 3 of their assistants as well. Yeah.
But my thing is, why are they letting Jesse do all this? And just if they already know they're going to fire him.
I don't know if they knew they were going to fire him, but I do know after the game versus Nottingham Forrest that all the people that used to support Jesse and were in Joe's chats or Connor's chats saying, hey, give him a chance. They turned on him. Everybody turned on Jesse after that Nottingham Forrest game. Everybody did. I mean, the comments were like, I used to support Jesse, but I can't do it anymore. He fucked that second half up. And the fans at the game who traveled were Jesse out. Jesse out. I mean, it was bad. And they actually feared some sort of revolt. Whereas I think, to be fair, somewhat fair, I think they really thought maybe Jesse could get a point at least out of that game and that he would go on from there. But after that game, I guess they just couldn't. They feared like a total fan revolt.
That's quite the gamble to take as a board. Be like, listen.
Yeah, I agree.
That's quite the gamble.
That's why it's still not completely honest on their part, is it? It's not. Because
it's just you gotta understand when this man is telling you guys like, yeah, one of my decisions to join this club is because of the coach and how I really get along with him and have a good relationship with. And you just fire him the first game afterwards. It's shady. That's the word. I'm not gonna say I can't express it enough. It's shady.
It is a bit shady. There's no doubt.
Shady as shit.
Because if you look at their schedule going forward after the Man U game, you have Everton and Southampton. All right, those are games that you could get some points out of. Then you got Chelsea. Well, fuck, you can get points out of Chelsea. Everybody getting points out of
Chelsea's like that neighborhood whore that everyone gets a chance with. Everyone gets a hit out of her.
You're getting the hang of this show. Brighton, home. Yeah, probably not getting points out of that. But then you got Wolves. Probably not much against Arsenal. But you got Palace at home. Then you got Liverpool, Fulham, and people are getting points off of Liverpool.
I guess my argument was that if there was one thing you could say about Jesse this season was that he was always managed to get points off the big boys outside of the Arsenal game.
Yeah, getting those points might save you from relegation.
When he played the minnows at that point was where
That's why I don't think that this was a matter of like, I really don't think that the board, they didn't want to make this decision. But when they saw the uproar, I mean, I've never seen anything on social media like this before. Like everybody turned on Jesse. Everybody after that Forest game turned on him suddenly. All the people that
hasn't turned on him, his American players that really want him there and that signed there for him.
Yeah, I get it.
So
I know some asshole posted maybe he's not an asshole, but he's like he probably is. He said Adams just got fired. Jesse fired from Leipzig and Leeds. Congratulations. And I'm like, what a dick.
You're talking about Calcio, what's his face? He said that.
For USMNT fans, I would be worried about Tyler Adams and Brendan Aronson right now. Because Tyler Adams plays well in that system because that's what he can do. And that's what Brendan can do. New coach comes in with a different system, and Adams isn't a ball-playing six or someone you can trust on the ball. He's going to get benched. I don't know what they have behind him. I don't know what options they have.
There isn't a lot. So, I mean, I think Adams is going to be
a new coach would want to try new things, and I'm just saying there's people from Leeds. I follow Leeds Twitter. There's people saying that, listen, Adams might not fit a new system. He plays so well in Jesse's system because that's who he is.
I think that Adams will be fine because I think even if you go to 3 in the mid or you stick with the 2, one of those guys has got to be more of a defensive minder crusher. So I think Roca and I think Adams will be fine. And I do think that McKennie's going to be it might end up benefiting him for all I know.
The thing about Weston has played in a system every year since he's played professional.
Correct.
Soccer. Shaka, Juve again. He's had how many coaches in 4 years? He's had a lot of coaches in 4 years.
He's played every fucking position except for goalkeeper.
Weston adjusts very fine. I think the speed of the PL is going to catch up. Like he needs to adjust to the speed of the Premier League. If you watched it, I think he got ran past a handful of times. He didn't really win those duels and those tackles, so I think he kind of he didn't realize what he was actually signing up for. I think he's gonna.
You cannot judge Weston on one game.
No.
I know you're not. I'm saying other people are.
I think he went in there just thinking it was going to be a cakewalk for him, and I think quickly realized, this shit is different over here.
Well, it's not
But
only the fact
he's gonna adjust.
Definitely a lot of faster this year.
he'll be fine, but I
Yeah,
think the real
they're a lot
problem was that was spazzy ass fucking football in the second half by Leeds. No one could play in that fucking setup the way it was set up in the second half.
I mean, but Adams literally thrives in that setup.
He did fine. He did fine. But going forward, they had no answers, right? Zero answers on offense.
Well, they just threw all the remaining offensive pieces against the wall and saw what stuck. And it just, I don't know, they were hoping that's about the best they could do. But
it looked like everybody was on crack.
But that decision to sack him, though, kind of directly correlates with another situation. I don't know if you guys are talking about that.
Yeah, go for it.
So I've always said, yeah. So
yes,
I listen. I know you guys don't want to hear this, but I have said this since December on that first Spaces when we engaged in that 6-hour Spaces, the famous Spaces they created 29. I was asked then, who do you think should be the coach going forward? And my answer was Jesse Marsch. I said, but he's under contract at Leeds. But let Jesse Marsch get fired, or the U.S. just convince him with an offer that he can't refuse, and he'll come live in Chicago. So let that happen.
I mean, I guess looking at how the 4-2-3-1 that he played at Leeds, and then throw that into the equation with the players we have on our squad, you'd actually have a 9 that is playing as a 9.
You have a 10 behind him supporting him.
You'd have a dual pivot, and that's stuff that we've been asking for under Berhalter for like the last year and a half.
But at that point, you have to like kind of make a decision on Weston and Eunice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Weston has to learn how to play that.
Here's an opposing point of view on Marsch as a manager for the United States men's national team. Here it is. Okay, just like Greg, even though it's different than Greg because they play a different system and a little bit of a different formation for sure. They're both dogmatists. They both have a frame work for playing that is very inflexible. They do not change. They do not make adjustments. They do not make changes. I just don't think it would be a good idea to have Jesse Marsch as the national team manager. I just seriously don't. I don't need any more inflexibility. I need a manager who's going to come in and say, who are my best players? How do they best work in a system that works for them? Not me. It's not about me and my system and how I want to play. I want to play. It's about how they're going to do best.
Is it too much a risk to think that Jesse will finally change his ways for his dream job? Well, because when you finally get your dream job, you tend to probably change things around you.
Well, and you also have to consider all we've seen from him so far has been club ball. And at club ball, yes, building your team around a system is perfectly fine to do. We have no idea how he's going to be around the national team camp.
Yeah, but Brett, even in club ball, we saw it yesterday in the second half.
Sure.
He made like-for-like changes. He didn't change the formation to a 4-3-3. He didn't try something new.
But
he kept the same formation.
Jesse seems to play his best players, though. He dropped Brendan because Brendan's been bad. Greg doesn't drop players even though they're supposed to be dropped. He'll consistently keep playing players that he shouldn't drop.
He waits for injuries.
So at least you know with Jesse that he actually plays his best 11. Mm-hmm. And that's something that Greg doesn't. Greg doesn't play the players he should be playing. There's no reason Joe Scally shouldn't have came in. There's no reason that Gio shouldn't be playing at the World Cup. Like things like that. At least I think Jesse's. I think Jesse would be better with player management. That's what I'm trying to say.
He'd be a step up at least.
He'd be a step up when it comes to player management.
For sure, he would be better. There's no doubt. Greg, anybody disagrees with Greg, they're gone. Miazga, Odasawi, Holmes, Brooks.
I mean,
you keep the list goes on.
But that board, that USSF board. But listen, Cindy's gonna hire a sporting director first, and that sporting director might have a different preference than the USSF. But I know for a fact that the USSF's board preference is Jesse. They've been waiting and waiting for that man to get fired. I hate to pray on another man.
Klinsmann issue all over again.
But they've been waiting. They've been waiting for that man to get fired. Not in a negative way, but I guess they keep up with Jesse because they obviously want to hire him. So they kind of know that it could come. Let's wait. I'm not saying that's what they're waiting to hire a coach. They're waiting to hire a coach because of their investigation and everything around all that shit. But there was definitely some smiles today seeing that Jesse was fired. There was definitely some like, we're in pole position now to get him if we want him. But the new sporting director that's yet to be hired could have a different opinion, but we know how that works out. You usually don't want to go against the board because it doesn't work out for you. So,
I do. There are subtle differences between Berhalter and Marsch's systems, for sure. There's no doubt about that. Of course, I think Greg wanted to play a really high line and do a lot of pressing early on, but once he got to the World Cup, he's like, yeah, no.
I think when push came to shove, he eventually changed, yes. So
could Marsch make that adjustment? It's possible. I'm just really worried about bringing another a person who is addicted to his style of play into the system. Now, are there better answers? Are there other people that are possible?
The thing. What's a better choice right now? Your MLS coach? I mean, I like Cherundolo. I think that's my favorite coach in the MLS. That's personally.
I think Cherundolo would be fine. I think that a lot of people saying Jim Curtin
lack of experience with Cherundolo. That's what they're saying.
It is true.
But Argentina just won a World Cup with Scaloni, and he had no experience or something like that. So,
real quick before we get too far away from the whole Leeds conversation, Alex Better for $2 says, if MAA wasn't at Leeds, I want them relegated. Toxic.
Yeah, I woke up and it's like the fucking Wild Wild West on Twitter today.
Mm-hmm.
There's people DMing me, what the fuck? There's so many. The reason I wanted to speak on it is because there's so many people DMing me asking me does Weston feel betrayed?
Mm-hmm.
Someone asked wasn't Jesse a key part of Weston's decision? Because Weston even went on record saying that Jesse and him had good conversations about being here. So it's obvious, right? I don't want to go and tweet all this stuff. I just want it's repetitive, but I got asked so many times today from U.S. fans, just like, what's Weston feeling? And then I'm not going to necessarily speak out on his feelings just because they're personal, but you can kind of get an idea of what he's going through right now or feeling. And you know what? Weston's a professional. He has to move on. They have to move on. Unfortunately, they're going to have to move on and it's back to business. But you gotta understand that they're probably like a bunch of a little confusion around him right now at the moment.
Oh, no, I'm sure. I'm sure it's like saying, hey, you come here, you're going to eat, the best steak that you love all the time, every day. And that's what you're going to get because you're coming here and this steak and we have this steak and you're going to love this steak. And then then you let them eat one dish and they're like, by the way, we ran out of steak. So all you can eat from here on out is
not
lobster.
Even one whole steak. It's like 2 ounces. The man played for 30 fucking minutes. and he played out of position in those 30 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jose Lopez says, and you're totally right, Jose, I could not stand, and believe me, I like Joe. I like Just Joe a lot. So Joe, don't take this personally. But the fact that you celebrated Jesse being fired the way you did was not cool. And I also thought the fact that, you went on this Bielsa rant, like, oh, you take him back. Like, really? Would you take him back? Because that doesn't seem to be working out very well when he left. So the way Leeds fans talk about Bielsa is comical. The men almost dragged them down. I agree. You could argue, and many of them do, that Bielsa wasn't back like Jesse. But then Bielsa made a point of saying, I don't want players you're telling me you can go get. He didn't want it. He wanted a small club. Yet, the Leeds fans are like all over fucking Bielsa's balls. I get it. He did some great stuff for you guys. But in the end, he had to go. Do you guys support Leeds? You know what? I'm a Fulham guy. Not lifetime. I mean, since 25 years with Fulham. All right. I love Fulham. And I've loved them for a long time. But did I become a Leeds fan? Yes. Ever since Adams got there, ever since Marsch got there, ever since Aronson got there, I've watched every single game and I have become a Leeds fan.
I guess it depends on how you define the term support.
Are you just watching them when they actually follow them?
I've been on record forever saying that I will quote unquote support any team that houses an American player. So I watch Chelsea because I want to see Pulisic do well.
Chelsea.
I don't like Chelsea.
I have the same problem, but at a national team level. I'm Mexican. I'm a Mexico fan. Unfortunately, guess what? I don't have a best friend on the Mexican team. I have one on the U.S. team, and it's unfortunately the worst team to have a friend on when I'm Mexican. And so, but I don't watch. Sometimes I do, but I don't really watch much U.S. soccer if it's the B team or the C team or whatever the fuck's going on. I watched it this past time in January because I know Zendejas personally, and and we're cool, and I like Brandon Vasquez, and I wanted to watch them play in their debuts. But besides that, I'm like that. I'm like you're saying, like I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of the national team.
So I'm not a diehard Leeds supporter by any means. And if Aronson and Adams, McKinney and Jesse aren't there, then no, I'm not supporting Leeds.
And if they're relegated, you're not going to watch the championship either if they're relegated.
Okay, no, I'm sucked in at this point. I'm going to remain a Leeds fan at this point.
We got one. We are.
Hold on. Even if McKinney and Adams leave, I would still be a Leeds fan at this point. They have sucked me in that far. And people will ask, like, okay, so Scally's on Mönchengladbach. Does that make me a Gladbach fan? No, it doesn't. I don't care. I only watch the game but this has sucked me in deep. And
Having three Americans
I'm a
is
Leeds
pretty
fan.
deep. Having 3 first-team Americans is probably enough to make you actually really support them. Because it's not
But
like
now I'm into the culture, right? Now I'm listening to Joe. Now I'm listening to Connor. Now I'm watching all these Leeds. I'm reading all these Leeds articles.
They're
now
fucking
I'm like,
crazy. They're fucking crazy over there. They're insane.
I'm a supporter now.
Culture is crazy. Culture at Leeds is crazy. It's insane. It's a religion to these people. It's crazy.
Now, we our Leeds need to hang around a little longer for my comment that I just made there. Even though Brett is watching Leeds and he doesn't care, I do. Like
I care because I want to see them do. I want to see Americans do well there, and I've said that from the get-go.
Brett, are you watching Leeds next season, or they're relegated and none of the Americans are there?
If none of the Americans are there, no.
Yeah, well, I don't think any of the Americans
I watched Norwich still because Sargent's there.
I don't think any of the Americans will be there if they get relegated. I know one for a fact by contract won't be there. I don't know what Tyler's situation is. I don't know what Brendan's situation is.
Now, so the contracts with Tyler and McKinney are escape clauses, so they can go.
Oh, Aronson, so Tyler has the same thing?
Yeah. Aronson, not so much. Not so much.
And you would have to find a team that wants Aronson, which I don't think it'd be hard. I think Aronson's a decent player. I don't think he's Premier League starter material, but he's good.
Right? Decent. Yeah. As of lately, he's.
I thought he was really. I thought the chatter around him in the beginning of the season was that he was actually really good at Leeds.
Yeah, I enjoy watching Leeds. They're a fun team to watch. It's just if none of the Americans were there, I wouldn't be watching them.
I'm not sure I agree with that, Brett. I don't think they've been very fun to watch. I think it's been spazball for too much of the season.
It's fun and it's ulcer-inducing, but yeah.
And for me, their fan base is chaotic on Twitter, so I'm for it. Like, fuck it. I'll stick around just to see the fucking chaos on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Anyhow, so the Leeds dude, I'm sorry if not all of us made you happy, but listen, I understand why. Like, I'm not a fan of a lot of the teams, but I hate Chelsea. But do I watch every Pulisic game? Yeah, I do. But I fucking hate Chelsea.
There you go. Juve is the closest thing to a European team that I support.
I fucking ran off that fucking Juve ship as soon as Weston signed for Leeds because they are so fucking bad to watch.
Oh,
even when
the last they win, that have been bad. Yes.
Even when they win, Brett, it's so it burns my eyes to watch Allegri ball. It's so terrible.
Oh no! I don't disagree with you at all. I think the past handful of years has been dreadful to watch.
I like Pirlo days. Pirlo days with Ronaldo were kind of cool.
But that's going back a while, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jose Lopez.
Pirlo as a coach, not Pirlo as a player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Pirlo as a.
Well, like I said,
I like the days when he was a player too, but
so like I said, with Juve, I know back in the day when I was a kid, there wasn't a lot of soccer on TV, quite frankly, and you occasionally catch a Champions League game, and I happened to catch a Juve versus Ajax game, and at that point, I started every time I played a game, I was Juve. And once Serie A was available, I started watching more of their stuff. But I mean, at that point, that's as close I come to supporting a club. And I mean, I've got a handful of jerseys, scarves, etc. But I'm a Chicago fan. Unfortunately, I'm just a glutton for punishment.
Jose Lopez asked Diego, "Where?" Thank you, Jose, for the $1.99. Where from Mexico? Mexico. are you from, Diego?
My family is from Monterrey.
I was just telling people how Monterrey, just like the Sounders, they also lost to
I
LLE.
caught that comment.
Yeah.
There was people saying that there's people that don't know that Egyptian club that knocked out Seattle. I was here to tell you guys that we know about them as Mexico, as Monterrey.
They're good.
Fans. They're a good team, man. They're always around. I watch the Club World Cup every year because Monterrey usually wins they're there often, and I like Real Madrid, so I watch it often. And yeah, that Egyptian team, man. I know Seattle isn't the best team, but even if it was LAFC, that Egyptian team probably would have gave them a good match, like a good game. Yeah. They're legit. They're a legit team. So
we are Leeds. Our club is a mess right now, but I fully respect your opinion. But please read the history into Leeds before slagging us off. I know your history pretty well, and it goes back. I mean, I've gone back, and I know Leeds all the way back into the '90s and a little bit of the '80s, but mostly since the '90s. So I have an idea of how big. I was watching Leeds when Harry Kuehl was there. I was watching Leeds when all kinds of big players were there. So I've been around. I wasn't a fan of the club back then because I didn't give a fuck about Harry Kuehl. But once this new era came in and Jesse was there, then I started watching pretty religiously. And now I'm hooked. Like I cannot watch, not watch. Leeds. I have to watch it.
Never seen a Leeds game in my life prior to Sunday morning. Not gonna lie, but
I don't think anybody was slagging him though. I think
slagging was more directed towards the ownership, which is American.
I'm here for the ride, and guess what? I have to root for nothing but success for Leeds for the next 4 months.
Yes, we do.
We want Leeds to be good. We want Leeds to get some results, and for the American boys to play well, and I hope that happens. So I don't think anyone here is disrespecting Leeds.
And Jesse's departure doesn't mean I'm not going to watch.
I think we're just saying if the Americans aren't there, then most likely the American fan base will leave with them too.
Yeah, I didn't watch it just because Jesse Marsch was there. I can tell you that much. Nope. I mean, that was sort of one point of interest. Obviously, because we cover U.S. soccer here.
I don't think you guys are on that boat, but a lot of the American fans are on the. If Tyler and Weston and Brendan aren't there, then they're probably not going to watch Leeds. That's more of a fan base thing, not you guys.
Mm-hmm. And I never really watched. I mean, I never purposely made a trip to watch Matarazzo when he was coaching in Bundesliga. I mean, as the manager is concerned, it's cool to see a U.S. manager managing, but I'm not going to make it a trip just to watch.
Yeah, it's different when your favorite players from the national team are there and just American coach.
Yeah, I watched an occasional Matarazzo Stuttgart game, but it was usually because they were playing Dortmund.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody else that had an American player, and that's how I began to understand and know what Matarazzo does. Now, there's a guy, by the way, who would make a really fine U.S. manager, because what did he have to do at Stuttgart? He took a very somewhat talented team with, no and that's what we have with no budget. We have a team that has limitations in some ways that you have to understand what those limitations are if you're playing France or Argentina or Brazil. So you have to understand what those limitations are when you go up against the best of the best. And that's a guy that knows how to do that. And he did it for 2 seasons at Stuttgart and did very well with knowing, listen, I don't have the best players in the Bundesliga, but I'm in the Bundesliga, which is a pretty fucking good league. And when we're going to play Bayern, I know exactly what we need to do to get a point out of that or to make it a competitive game. So I think Matarazzo would be a guy I would hope the U.S. Soccer invites for at least an interview. But no guarantees.
For the U.S. coach?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, I think they're so convinced on who they want. Like a handful.
Well, okay, so do you have any inside info on that, or is that just your opinion?
Oh, no, I had inside information in December. That's what I was trying to say. Like,
okay.
that was the whole reason for us switching to the topic of U.S. national team. I can more than confidently say, listen, there's board members on the USSF. What is it? USSF or USF?
U.S. Soccer,
interchangeable. U.S. Soccer Federation, whatever. Jesse Marsch is I told you, Jesse Marsch has been the guy that they wanted since post Qatar. Like that's just someone they like. I can't speak on why. That's just who the rumblings that they want. But guess what? Cindy is promising to bring a sporting director who she'll give, power of deciding on the new coach. So if that sporting director doesn't want Jesse, then probably we're not. But
what would be really cool?
But I know they want him.
is if you were behind the scenes having an affair with Cindy Parlacone, and that's how you had all this information.
She's actually on the bed just to the left, isn't she?
Listen, I hope she's there in March in Orlando because she's not the worst looking woman out there. So I might.
You didn't even have to look over your shoulder either. Just make sure nobody was creeping in through the door.
I might dabble on Cindy at the team hotel in Orlando. I might have to dabble, and I'm gonna do it for the red card just to get a little insight. I'm gonna do it for the red card, and once I get all the information I know. Oh, sorry, Cindy.
Have you ever seen her say the word jizz?
No, what? No.
Oh, Christ! You make me find that now.
No.
We have.
Oh, Christ! I gotta find this now.
So actually, just to be fair to Cindy Parlacone, we were playing a clip. She was going to be talking about something else, and then it was
challenges.
She said challenges, but we started the video where it just said at the end of challenge, it started as jizz. Oh, yeah. It wasn't on purpose. Trust me, it was an accident.
Listen, regardless,
it was a happy accident.
Regardless, I will take one for the team. I will take one for the boys, and if I can find her at the team hotel in Orlando, I'm gonna shoot my shot. You guys need to give me a little bit more information on her if she's married.
Here we go.
Single.
This is a little bit of information needed here.
All right, here we go.
Just make sure everything's turned up here.
All right.
Ah, look at that. That would have been bad. Actual second.
1946.
Oh, okay. There we go.
All right.
And opportunities that we
Jizz. Okay, rewind that.
I heard it.
Yeah. Jizz and opportunities. That's what it's all about.
Perfect.
Well, I hope I get an opportunity to jizz on.
See if you can. Oh!
I hope I get an opportunity to jizz. I'm gonna do it for you boys. I'm gonna do it for you. I'm gonna do it for the red card. In honor of the red card, I hope.
I believe she's married, but okay.
Is she married?
I think so. Yeah.
Ah, damn! You guys are having me wreck homes for inside information.
I mean, that doesn't stop shit, but you know,
no, it
whatever.
doesn't. It doesn't. Listen, we've had our fair share of as men as the side piece or as the man getting cheated on. Exactly. I know the turd on the background has gotten cheated on a couple times, but
oh no, more than a couple.
Yeah.
That's pretty much that's an endemic issue with him. So all right. Well, I think we covered Jesse for the most part, and thanks for like popping on and doing that because
we got a couple things here real quick.
Oh, good. Go ahead. Also, before I do go, we'll continue, but make sure we get that Indy report covered because that's the only reason I was here. That Indy traffic.
Berlin keeps pushing it. He's like, it's 3:45 in Berlin. Where's the Indy traffic report?
Let's get Berlin. Traffic's bad. That's it. That's your report. Traffic is bad in Indy right now. That's your report. You can go to bed now. I know you're waiting. I know the kids are asleep. I know you're trying to go to bed. I know you're on your 7th beer, brother. The traffic is bad in Indy. That's it.
But here's the thing, Berlin. The traffic is not as bad in Indy as it is in Bloomington. Bloomington is a fuck fest. This is actually clear open lanes you can slide into and drive home, no problem. Bloomington, Bloomington's a fucking clusterfuck. By the way, shout out to Berlin for getting mentioned in not only Pete's show, but also Tax Show with Terrence Boyd and his 10 goals, and Kaiserslautern may be going back to Bundesliga. I know he just in his pants all over about that, and that's okay, dude. I understand why you'd be excited about that, but thanks for supporting this show as well. Maybe Greg Berhalter should remain U.S. men's national team head coach, but Gio Reyna should never play for the national team again. Oh, wait. I thought these people didn't exist.
Oh, there's definitely I heard that conversation earlier in the store when I was There's definitely people that never want Gio Reyna to play for the national team.
Yeah.
They're out there.
What's
They're
this?
out there.
What is this?
Dodger Blue. Reyna should never play for the U.S. men's national team again.
What?
Wow.
I want to say thanks to Chris Garrett for finding these for me in such a quick notice.
Thank you, Chris Gary, because honestly, I was reading my tweets the other night and thinking, am I living? Am I on crazy fucking pills? Yeah. Have I not read these tweets all over the fucking place? And now people are telling me they don't exist? Whatever.
I was
They
mentioning
do.
before the show, it's revisionist history. This is what happens. It's happening all the time. That never happened.
Yeah, Bleeding Dodger Blue. Raina did score on your mom. Yeah, on your
When he
mom.
continues, he says, no coach should need to worry about his parents, what his parents might do. Adidas should dump him. Black and Yellow should dump or consider it. If this is a player they want, Claudio should be removed. So,
God, what a dick
Hey,
fuck.
imagine if Cindy hired Claudio Reyna as a sporting director. That'd be pretty cool.
I don't think that's going to...
I'm here
I'd
for
go over
it.
like a
Pretty
lead
funny.
balloon.
I'm here for it. I'm here for Claudio Reyna.
Park that drama. Let's run with it, guys.
I started my propaganda for Reyna as the sporting director for sure.
Hey, you know, people always say that the toxic side of the fandom is so negative. It's always negative. It's always negative. I would laugh my ass off if that happened.
No, I would find it fucking comical. And guess what? It would be great. It would. You know, the thing is, it's a great hire. Great hire. He's a fucking legend.
He's done well in Austin.
It's a great when you're actually talking about business wise. It's sporting wise. It's a great hire, but
After all that ugliness, I doubt that's happening.
Maybe not. But guess what? It would if there's no drama behind it, Claudio Reyna would have been a good hire.
Here's another fucking genius named Black Timus Prime, who says, sounds like a whole lot of nonsense coming from Sir and David whatever. Gio Reyna, as talented as he is, should never play for the U.S. men's national team again. Well, he just scored again, Mr. Black Timus. On your mom is what he scored.
So, you know, the thing is, they hate Gio for the mistake that his parents made.
Yeah.
Gio did nothing. The only thing that Gio did was he was a bit lazy on that training camp for Qatar, the 7-10 days before the World Cup, and it was even him being lazy.
Hey, you know, he was lazy. He moped. He drug his feet. He had a temper tantrum.
That's not a reason you should never play on the national team again.
That's fine. He got punished for it. He missed the first game of the World Cup. He had to stand up and apologize to everybody. Everything moved on at that point. The fans should too.
The whole extra
except he's just a petulant child right now, and he's going to grow and develop.
The whole extra shit is his parents, and that has nothing to do with Gio.
It's not like an ice skating incident where he hired somebody to take a bat to weigh his knee. Can we get over this? He's just a kid.
There was never blackmail ever. There was never
no blackmail.
No blackmail.
None. No blackmail.
No blackmail. That man.
You
did
still
not
see
say
that shit being portrayed on Twitter now.
They did not say, if you don't play my son, we're gonna go tell the federation about you doing whatever you did to your wife or girlfriend.
It will. They've got news that'll take him down.
Yeah.
So
the
next person who, in bad faith, says zero people have said this before about Gio Reyna, I'm gonna just bitch slap you. That's all. Metaphorically, metaphorically. I'm not
Keyboard Warrior,
actually
if you can clip that segment right
that.
there, where we just cover those three people. That way, if it comes back up, we just share your tweet. There
we got it now. Yeah, we got it. We brought them up for you. I just don't want to hear that anymore. I mean, somebody who comes and tweets on me and says zero people have said that, Derek. I'm like, what do you take me for? A fucking moron? Okay, maybe I'm a moron.
I read the tweets too. I read the tweets. It's funny.
Yeah.
People, anything, and when you see any Gio related content on Twitter, just look at the replies, and there'll be nothing but trolls saying Gio should never come back or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a bot. I don't know.
Nah, these are real people. These are real humans with heartbeats and pulses, just like the rest of us. They don't have a brain. That's about it. But, yeah.
Hey, I have a question for
This
Derek.
is from Berlin, by the way.
And old would like this to anonymous. What? My ex is legit alcoholic, like legit.
Wait a second. Hold on. He told me to look on the DMs. Berlin, are you in the chat still? Do you want this out? Okay, no, actually, he says he wants it anonymous. I literally just said it. Damn it.
Oh, fuck, Brett.
Berlin, do you want this out? I'm sorry, my man.
What happened?
Shit.
I didn't read it ahead of time.
Well,
okay.
Well, might as well go.
No, we can't do it because he wanted it anonymous. So, but
okay,
I will
so don't
say
say
this.
what Berlin said. Say what someone else said.
Well, I will say this. There's no better expert than me about having a partner who was an alcoholic. And I'm one too. So there you go. I'm just functional. But I did have an ex-wife who was, and she would admit that, and she's in recovery. She's doing really well now. But yeah, parts of our marriage, not so much. And it's a tough thing to deal with. But we'll get into that privately. Berlin. Sorry about that, buddy.
I should have pre-read it as my name.
You keep saying his name.
Well, it's out there now. There's not much we can do. But we fucked up.
I feel like shit.
Yeah.
Buddy.
We're sending you a signed suspension shirt or whatever.
Let's move on to enormous twat as soon as we can here. And yes, I know what that means. I know a lot of people tried to catch Tack today, but he was quite on his game. He did not read Jacques Me Off or any of the other fake accounts, but we always read the fake ones here, not the fake accounts, but the fake names. So enormous twat, Desi Mitch, our regular with the the fake names, says everyone thinks Jesse Marsch will be the next manager, but sources tell me that Craig Walters will be U.S. men's national team boss. Who's Craig Walters?
Right here.
Is that dude?
This is Craig Walters.
You got it there, buddy.
Nice penis head. Really good move on the penis head. What else we got here? If Terrence Boyd doesn't make the list, I'm going to fly to Indy and piss on the streets until I meet Dixon Cider. Well, he did make a couple lists. We're not going to get through the list tonight. But I will say that Tim Ream is a fucking stud. And if you don't think he's a fucking stud by now, then you not been watching and paying attention to what's going on.
Do you want to cover our Cliff's notes of the Yanks right now?
Yeah, I could do that. P. Fox scored. He's back from the dead. He scored the winning goal. Reyna scored again on your mom. Luca De La Torre got an assist. He's a regular.
De La Torre.
Yes,
thank you.
Roll those R's, man.
My Spanish is better than Luca De La Torre's Spanish, by the way. Ream, I gave him a 9 out of 10 for Fulham. He was a badass. Jedi got an 8 out of 10. We already talked about McKennie and Adams and Jesse. Sands is going back to new MLS. Tillman scored again for Rangers. CCV 90 in a 4-1 win. It's getting pretty normal with them. Booth is a fucking rock star in goddamn Holland. He's a rock star for Utrecht. See, I pronounced it right this time.
He's got his own chant and everything.
He does. Pepe and Groningen, they lost. They're at the bottom of the table. Not really Pepe's fault. Trusty, 90 in a win. He scored the winning goal on a header. Dest, not going to play for Barcelona, folks. You think he's going to play after he got back there, after they sent him off to AC Milan? No, he's not. He needs to go somewhere else. Scally played. Stefan Hoare played. Horvath played. They won. Turner didn't play. Brooks was poor for yeah, he was. I'm sorry for Hoffenheim. But, he just got there. So give him a break. Richards, 94. Mostly a good game versus Man City, but they did lose. EPB in a loss. McKennie, we already talked about. Oh, no, but McKenzie for Genk. He started, and they are top of the table in Belgium. Paredes went 23 minutes versus, I think it was Bayern. Hoppy got minutes for Hibernian. He's now off to Scotland, so you're going to have to follow him there from now on. Mendez came in off the bench for Vizela. They lost. Weah, 34, came in on the 34th minute versus Rennes. He played left wing back again, or left back. Sargent, 61 in a loss, and goddamn, I wish I didn't watch that game. Norwich were fucking awful. And then finally, DK, 59 for West Brom, who are looking like they're going to get promoted. Balogun also is probably he's going to get a call up from England. So I hate to break the bad news to you guys, but all the words.
We're at Diego working on it.
Yeah, everything going on.
Balogun, is he going to get called up from England?
Yeah, it does look like it. Yeah.
Why does it look like it?
It doesn't just look like it. It's shit I've been told behind the scenes.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah.
And March?
Yes.
He just had a stinker today. I was hoping maybe that benefited you.
I know.
He had a stinker.
He get a couple more than England's like, it must have been a fluke.
Yeah, he had a stinker. And,
he just needs to stink from here on out, so they don't call up a March.
I did hear rumbles around England and Balogun, but
yeah, they don't want to lose him.
Yeah, I guess that's a situation where you just say, fuck it, let's just keep him in arsenal just in case.
Yeah.
So someone else can have him. But even though no pun intended. Like, I'm witty too, bro. Yeah, I think that would be smart for them because you know what? He'll actually accept the call up. So, yeah.
He probably will. And I'm not going to blame him for it. Like, this isn't like some crazy situation where he's made any promises to us at all. So it's if he does what he wants to do, that's just fine. I think that's about it, folks. I mean, we were kind of Brett, unless we got more shit to do.
Just
people popping up questions.
Couple of them, yeah. Simon's coming up in too, but
all right. It's really a shame they didn't give me a few more matches. Should have just sacked him 3 weeks ago. We kind of talked about that. Yeah. It made no sense.
Shady, man. It is fucking shady what they did. That's all I'm gonna say.
Here's where I think it does make sense to me. It made sense when I went on Joe's show and Connor's show, and all the people that used to defend Jesse on their shows stopped defending him, and then I knew shit was hitting the fan really seriously. And we just got the Bob Bradley stink out of the Prem. Yeah, this is not Simon. You're right, old friend. I mean, Bob got done way worse than Jesse. Jesse got a chance.
And, Bob got 3 freaking months.
Yeah, that was bad. And I don't know if that's a stink, but it's not going to help us going forward or help, anybody else who wants to go manage there, unless you consider David Wagner an American because he's at Norwich. Although that
probably didn't help the picture of U.S. managers when you take.
Speaking of David Wagner, you confused the hell out of me last time dropping that name.
I know.
People were in the
Somebody corrected us.
People were in the comments saying 29 referred to David Wagner.
I did.
I brought it up, and then
someone was in the comments saying no, that's the wrong David. And listen, I've spoken about Weston for the past week and a half. Like, you throw shit out there, I'm just gonna go with it because I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But
the first name was right.
I knew David's his favorite coach, but you said it. You threw out that last time. And I'm like, yeah, you know your stuff. Like, yeah, you're right. But yeah,
I did not know that guy at all.
I had to do some Google searching as well.
Yeah, that was his first coach ever. He stuck with West for a while.
Even when Brett said it, I was like, yeah, I don't know about that.
You did second guess it at first, Derek.
Yeah, I did.
No, and I was like, I don't think that's necessarily correct because you threw me off with Norwich, and I was like, Norwich. I was like, what the hell? But I was like, and then you guys told me that if Norwich make the Premier League, would West consider it? I looked at the standings. Norwich is nowhere clear as making the Premier League.
No, they're not. But they could eventually contend for a playoff spot.
Yeah,
I mean, 3 months ago they were in the top 4. But they've been doing nothing but losing since. So
3 months ago, my girlfriend loved me. Now she don't. So.
Oh, sorry.
Especially after the whole Cindy Parlow comment there.
Yeah.
You and Michael Cameron can hook up.
Yeah.
Talk about that stuff.
Negative.
All right. It was nice to see PFOC back on the scoring sheets yesterday and doing so in dramatic fashion. Do you think we can see him get called up in any of the upcoming windows? If so, which is the most likely? Depends on who the coach is, Deacon.
Yeah.
Really does. Or the manager of the United States men's national team.
With the current interim, probably not.
But right now, I'd say no. But mostly just because PFOC's coming out of a slumber, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if this leads to goal after goal after goal, but he's lost his starting spot to Barons at Union. So he'll need to regain his starting spot. So there's that. Jorge Castillo, even with wins against Chelsea and Liverpool, it's the lack of goals against Brentford and Nottingham Forrest that are worrisome. I worry Jesse, as the USA coach, will have us looking respectable against countless countries like Germany and Argentina, but looking like ass versus Paraguay and Panama. Very possible, because that is the trend with Jesse in the Premier League for sure. Jesse is our Jurgen target via.
Actually joked around about that too. Whenever you're like, they're hoping that he gets fired. They're hoping he gets fired. But yeah, it's the same thing. Well, they kept Bob around long enough until Jurgen didn't have a job, and then whoop, that kind of thing.
Whatever. All right, is that it? When are you guys going to tweet Berlin time? Diego Mendoza 29 and me are there for the Indy traffic reports.
Scroll
we
under.
we
Scroll my
already did
reply.
that.
What's my reply?
Oh, yeah. So, on my fifth
On
beer,
my
waiting
fifth beer.
for the Indy report. Things are starting to look shaky.
Man, that Berlin guy is a character. I love him.
Yeah.
That guy's
Yeah.
my guy. He tweeted out earlier, 29, I'm not going to take offense to you following me and then unfollowing me. It's all love. Tactical manager, the same thing at first. I was like, I've never noticed that you followed me. I followed you the moment I noticed you followed me. I did not.
One thing you will note, 29, is our fans, our supporters, they're great people. They're fucking
cool. They're
great,
cool. There's definitely people that followed me.
ass people.
There's
Yeah.
people that followed me since I got on last week, and they've definitely shown me love and sent me nice messages and just engage with me. They're cool. I appreciate it. I really do. There's obviously that oddball group on Twitter who's just fucking weird and just talks down, but I appreciate the nice people you have on here in the chat.
Who's the odd guy? Are we talking about
A group of guys. There's just a group of guys who are anti-29.
Oh.
They weren't anti-29 when I was dropping Weston bombs and GeoGate bombs, but you know, it is.
There was at least one in our chat last week. You know.
There's someone in here that called me a fucking clown. Some dude named fucking. I wish I saw your name. Your name's like Kyle or something. Kyle, fuck off.
Not from the show. You can continue watching our show, Kyle.
Yeah, continue watching. The
Oh,
show.
you mean in the Twitter?
Just fuck off from me. No, he's
Or
in
in
the
the
comment. He's in the
Oh.
comments saying, "Why are y'all giving this clown 29 a platform?" Something.
Because this guy, who isn't a clown, has said so many things that we've checked and counter-checked, and they all turn out to be true. So if you want to call him a clown, maybe you need to. You're looking in the mirror, my friend. Maybe that's what's the problem is.
Facts.
So,
Someone asked me about Someone's asking about Zendaya. What is
Was
that?
it Colin?
Huh?
Hold on. Which one?
Someone's asking about Zendaya's in the comments. Zendaya's will be good in a couple of weeks. He'll be good.
He'll be fine in
has
three
Yeah.
3 weeks is what
Yeah,
I do.
he'll be fine in a couple of weeks, man. It unfortunately it was a hammy, and I hate how the Mexican media is turning this on the U.S. men's national team for even calling up a player and America letting him go. It's a whole mess on the Mexican media, but that game had nothing to do with him pulling his fucking hammy on Saturday night. That had nothing to do with that, man.
So the person you're referring to, Diego, was not Kyle. Apparently, according to the chat, they're saying it was Colin.
Whatever his name is. I don't. Yeah, Colin.
We
sorry,
know who
Kyle.
he is.
Kyle, I'm sorry. Kyle, please forgive me. I
I
didn't
don't know
mean
if we
that.
have any friends named Kyle.
Don't fuck off. But Colin, fuck off.
Yeah, well,
Fuck off.
that's something Colin's heard before, and we try to be nice to Colin as much as we can, even though it's sort of erratic. One day he likes you, the next day he does not. But-
You know what?
Yeah.
I won some people over on your guys' platform last week, so I'm pretty cool with that.
So, sometimes you deal with an erratic sort of thing. All right. Richard Miller says, just stop by to say soccer isn't a real sport. And by the way, Richard Miller, your report, it ain't a real report either. All right. I think we're done for tonight. It was a fun hour and fucking 38 minutes. I don't think
If anybody wants to give that number a call, it's on his profile. I wonder what, like at 6'5".
Oh yeah, go visit him. Let him know. I was
hoping it'd be more along the lines of like 8675309, but it's not there.
8675309. All right. See,
Why
we
is-
got
Why
some
is Johnny
talent.
why is Johnny arguing? Johnny Arnold is arguing about Jesus Ferreira being better than Pulisic. That's crazy.
Who is?
Johnny Arnold. Johnny Arnold. Johnny Arnold. You need to put the booze down, my brother. I'm sorry.
Zendaya should start for the national team in good time, my friend. In good time. Have some patience.
He's got some good takes in there.
Don't go jumping
Where's it?
straight for the clitoris, Johnny. You gotta do some foreplay first.
I was gonna make a joke about Zendaya's at least remaining healthy, but he's injured now, so I mean that's kind of moot.
Zendaya's most likely U.S. men's national team bound for sure.
Sure, absolutely. Starting, that's going to take some time.
Yeah, he needs a big move, which it's hard to get a big move in Mexico because they just don't like selling you.
No, they do not like
Yeah,
selling
they
people
don't
at
like
all.
selling, bro. But
Yeah.
Zendaya's
Julio
a good player.
Julio Guzman, $4.99. Thank you, brother. issue with U.S. soccer is that we celebrate mediocrity. Is this Pete? It all begins with
shout out 11 Yanks, man. That's
yes. It all begins with our youth programs. It did. It used to be that was like sort of the core problem, and in many ways it still is. But I will give props to MLS academies. They have changed things, especially let's pick some specific academies. The Union, FC Dallas. There are a handful of academies, Red Bull, who are really dedicated and focused on creating players for the future. Mm-hmm. So, the youth program thing, especially pay to play, it's got some fixing to do, Julio. That is for sure.
Crazy. You gotta pay a lot of money, $2,000-$3,000.
Yeah, I know. I think even Zlatan was like, I had to pay for my kids to play soccer. That's crazy. I looked at that shit and I'm like, are you serious? That's what I got to shell out? And I'm a millionaire and I don't care.
It's the only country that does it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to take into consideration our history of soccer in general is that we never had that culture from the get-go. So there was never really money to be made unless you charged the players money.
Canada has the same problem.
Yeah. So I mean, it's working its way to that point where youth teams here now can actually make money so long as MLS doesn't cock block them. But
no, they're not cock blocking them anymore.
Good. They definitely tried for a couple of years there.
Well, they did, but that's over. So I like what you did. You're like feeling your titties and shit. You're like, this show's ready to end. All right.
This show is dope. People are petitioning for us to be the trio. I don't know if I want to step toes on you like that. I mean, Derek didn't even want to have me on tonight because he said I can't have him on 2 weeks in a row. And
it is a rule.
I had to reach out to Derek and say, listen, like.
No, but once you had some info about McKenny's reaction, I'm like, okay, let's bring him on.
Well, yeah, it's just, man, I kid you not, I want to tweet hi right now just to see what people are doing, and they're going to ask me about Weston's thoughts. That's what's going to happen. So I was like, what? Let me just go ahead and fucking put it out somewhere. That's shady. It is what it is. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's just like, just be honest. There's nothing major and drastic is going to come out of this. It is what it is. It's business, but it's just be honest. Like what's the problem? Doing honest business, man. Just be honest with the player. Say, listen, realistically, he might be out. Realistically, as soon as Monday morning, it's going to happen. Like
the thing is, Diego, you said honest business.
That's like the
military intelligence.
It's like the symposium that Berhalter leaked the GeoGate information out, right? That was the moral.
The immoral conference, but they called it the immoral leadership, the moral leadership conference. Yeah,
it definitely left a sour taste in certain people around his camp. Just the fuck, man, broken promises, whatever. But you know what? Business is business.
McKenny's going to be all right, though.
Weston's going to be fine. Weston's going to be fine. Yep. And you know what? And I know this is coming. If they get relegated, people are going to say, we were right. Weston should have never signed to Leeds. I know it's coming. It is what it is. Weston will be fine. He's a great player.
If they get any manager in there who is flexible and thoughtful and not a dogmatist,
they'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
Well, and that's the thing. If they do get a manager that's competent and keeps them up, guess what? Weston's going to be a Leeds player for the foreseeable future. So,
and that would be so badass. I mean, now that I'm sucked into Leeds, so I want to watch Leeds.
It is. Hey, it is. I just thought it was shady business, man. That's it.
That's cool.
You can see why.
I'm glad you got to say it, Diego. Hey, I want to thank you for coming on the show again tonight because, goddamn, when you come on, we have fun. I mean,
the chat is very, very active when 29's on here, huh?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
It was funny because last show you told the chat to take a shot every time you said bro, and then you never said bro the entire show.
I can go without bro. Like, let me just.
Bro. Is that like that's kind of like a cultural thing when you're talking to your bros?
What do you mean by cultural? What do you mean by that?
And what I mean is that because Aronson does it too. It's a younger culture thing, bro. I believe. Not that we didn't say bro in my day and age.
No, I wish I could do that TAC interview over again it was so. I rewatched it and I hated it. I hated that Tack interview, man. I did not like it. I kept sipping on my cup. I kept saying, "Bro." I just filmed a podcast earlier today, but I just filmed a podcast early in the afternoon, a couple hours ago, and I've been doing so well. And but for some reason, that Tack interview, which had the biggest audience, I let myself down to my.
Don't worry about it.
I enjoyed the interview.
Yeah, you enjoyed it because y'all were fucking roasting my janky stuff. You were fucking enjoying that shit.
Listen, we
content for Thursday. Here we go.
We made a video.
You're like, no. The person you said, why is he sitting so far back? You want to show his sweatshirt? It's a cool sweatshirt, but like, be for real, man. Like,
I said, he's a good-looking man. He needs to get closer to the camera.
Let's do this, Eddie, last
but don't feel bad because we put out a video and it was that interview with Aronson and Musa that U.S. Soccer did, and we had a bro count on it. Watch this.
If you did, I think there was a bro count on the Tack video. It was up there.
Okay, watch this. Here's the bro count that we did with.
And we're teammates.
Yeah, we're teammates.
I'm a good chef.
Oh, that's sick. That's sick, bro.
I can make food. Cheese as well. So.
Oh my god, bro. Yo, you gotta cook for me. Damn. Bro, I get up to cook and I just can't do it. This is tough, bro. I gotta say video games, bro. That's bad.
What about your family, bro?
I mean, yeah. Just because of the way that I was living in Austria, bro, I didn't have anybody there, so like...
Of eating.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
I have so many...
Bro, I just don't even notice, to be fair. Like, but I just kind of grab it, bro. Grab a couple. There you go. Bro, this is hard. Yeah. I'd probably say him. I mean...
Victory.
So there you go. That's what we do, Diego. Sometimes just for fun,
Hey, if you would go back and do that for my video with Tack,
I would never do that to you. Never.
No, I would do it just to fuck. It was so comical. But Tack texted me that same night and just said, "Bro, who cares?" Like majority. Tack and I, man. Look, this is the thing. A lot of people say Tack looked uncomfortable. No, Tack just doesn't know anything about rap, and we're kind of like,
no, he does not. No.
Tack just has like, okay, what is going on here? But Tack and I are good friends, and I love him, man. I like him. I like Pete. They're good people.
They're good people.
They don't understand. I just come from a different world, and I'm trying to mix it in with soccer, and sometimes people don't get it.
Oh no, and they come from a different world. I mean, you're talking about Pete, who's lived overseas his whole life, right? So he comes to the United States. It's a totally different culture. There's some things he doesn't know from that culture because he hasn't been here that long, or he's been here just long enough to kind of catch up on some of it. And then you got a guy from Brazil who went back to Brazil, then back to U.S., then back to Brazil, then back to U.S. They're just going to be like rap. That's going to be a total blind spot for, I think, both of them, I would guess. I would guess that neither of them ever heard of the Wu-Tang Clan, Boogie Down Productions, or Tribe Called Quest ever.
To be fair, I'm young and I've only heard one of those. So there it was.
All right, you got to look up Boogie Down Productions and KRS-One, my friend. That's some good shit from back in the day. All right, I know it's 89. That's a long time ago.
That's a long time. I watched the Grammys last night and Jay-Z was there. And Jay-Z.
You're the one, huh?
Huh?
You were the one person, huh?
I was the one person to watch the Grammys last night. I watched it because it was kind of dedicated to rap because it's the rap 50th.
I gotcha.
And that Jay-Z was the oldest motherfucker they had on the show.
Jay-Z was the oldest motherfucker. Well, Stevie Wonder did a performance. I know you know Stevie.
Hell yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's more of your age, huh?
I knew Stevie Wonder when he could see shit.
You hear him, Derek? Old motherfucker.
I am an old motherfucker. No, I do go back. I mean, all the way back. So I think it was KRS-One and Boogie Down Productions. By All Means Necessary was the name of the album that got me into hip hop in 1988 or 87, somewhere around there. For them on, I was hooked. And I know a lot of other people listen to LL Cool J and all that, but I was into like the underground shit immediately, the real hip hop. Anyhow, it was a fucking fabulous show. I was glad to have everybody here. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for hanging into the show. Make sure you like and subscribe. and share it with your grandma. And I want to thank Diego for coming on the show again. And hell, it looks like he might be a regular. So
I promise I won't interrupt unless some crazy shit happens throughout the week. I promise I won't bombard your show next week.
No. If you got some good shit, you come on the show, man.
Listen,
you let us know.
I'm gonna take 1 week off. I'm gonna go on my burner account, and I'm gonna go in the comments, and I'm gonna fuck around. But I promise I won't be here next week.
No, we'd rather you be here. But all right, until the next time on the Straight Red Card. Hey, go use some Cologuard. We'll see you soon.
You're gonna do her. Yeah.